Are you ready to get your sports banter on? Brian Hemminger, love child of Albert Einstein and Howard Cosell, with a body chiseled by Zeus himself. Brandon Sharples, a man who could beat Mike Tyson in a spelling bee. Together, they form the At Odds Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live. It is the 12th episode of the At Odds Podcast. I am your host, Brian Hemminger. We have an awesome show in store for you guys today. We'll be talking our favorite baseball teams facing each other, Indians versus the Rangers, Florida winning the College World Series, crazy Exes, and then Battle of the Sexes, John McEnroe versus Serena Williams drama. So all kinds of great stuff in store for you guys today. And, of course, none of it would be without our wonderful co-host, Silky Smooth. You know him, you love him, Brandon Sharples. How you doing tonight, man?
What's up, guys? I'm happy to be here. Not happy about this Indian score right now because we're getting shellacked 5-1, and we're going to lose the season series 5-1. So I lose again.
There's one more tomorrow to lose.
Oh, shit. This is a 4-gamer. Damn it.
Kluber tomorrow. I'm going to that one.
Kluber is German for Scheisse.
No,
I think
that's not true.
Scheisse is German for shit.
You have a public statement out about you have a secret crush on him.
I hate Kluber so much. I love how Florida trolled the shit out of Stetson because they had a moment back in April where they were heated at each other. Florida college baseball against Stetson college baseball. Stetson's obviously where Kluber went, and Florida trolled their ass after they won the national title. So I was pretty pumped about that. Yeah. So for everybody that don't know or don't give a shit, Florida won the College World Series of baseball, and I'm pumped because it's about time. They've been to the College World Series, I believe, 5 out of the last 7 years, and they were the 1 seed, I believe, 4 times, and they finally snuck through and won. And this year they were the 3 seed. So they made it, and they made it happen. What do you think about that?
Hey, I can't complain because guess what? Indians drafted one of those Florida Gators, the catcher, Michael Rivera. They have signed every one of the top 10 picks that you get like a bonus pool to sign, top 10 round picks, except Rivera. So, because they were waiting until after the College World Series. The Indians just signed their first pick today. So he was the last one to sign. So however much money is left over, that's what they're going to offer Rivera, and he's going to have to accept it. But I'm actually really excited to have him in the organization. I don't think the Indians have any Florida players. So you can never have too many good young catchers.
Their ace, their starter, Fado, he got drafted by the Mets, and he's such a solid pitcher. They were saying that the Mets are down this year, but say the Mets ended up making the playoffs, that he would be an arm that they brought up for the playoffs because he's going to be signed, and they said that it would be one of those situations where he'd be already basically ready to make an impact for the squad and come in some relief situations for the Mets during the playoff run.
Nice. And so, how many Florida players ended up getting drafted? Do you remember?
I think 10.
10, damn. That's impressive. Yeah. I mean, I know that there's like 40 rounds of the draft, so like there's over 1,000 picks, but still 10 players getting selected to go pro. That's quite an accomplishment.
Oh yeah. So I mean, they're loaded up for next year too. So for pitching anyway. But their coach Sullivan, he actually was Clemson's pitching coach back when, like, remember in Clemson back in like the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, they were like a pretty solid nationally recognized program. And that's where you know who went there? Do you remember Billy Kosh, the reliever that was played for Oakland and Toronto?
Oh yeah,
with the 93 mile an hour slider. He pitched for Clemson. He was a stud, and Sullivan was their pitching coach. In Florida, back in the, I think it was like 95. No, it was probably like 97. Around that time, they lost to Texas in the College World Series final, and it was they were getting rocked. Their hitting was amazing. They had basically the best lineup in the country, but they were getting rocked, and their pitching was struggling. So they brought Sullivan in the pit to fix the problem. So he went over to Florida, and he's really turned that program around. I think he's been there about 10 years, and he's had him in the College World Series basically half the time, and he's been to the national championship game 2 times, won it once. So, but the funny thing is that he turned the pitching around. But now the batting's kind of lacking. There's a point in the year, like mid-spring, where Florida was batting like 230 as a team. So they were struggling, but their pitching is top notch. Basically, they got the best rotation in the country. So I don't know if anybody follows college baseball, but I love it.
Honestly, I thought Florida the second best rotation in the country. The Oregon State probably had the best.
Well, yeah, but then they lost their child.
Then their top pitcher, got in huge trouble.
I'll give you that. I will give you that.
Basically, their best pitcher, it got revealed that he had like a sexual misconduct thing, that he had inappropriately touched his 6-year-old cousin when he was 15.
Hey,
he went through therapy and all kinds of stuff, and they said he was okay now. But just the fact that was out there, he didn't pitch for them the rest of the season after that came out. He didn't pitch for him in the College World Series, and they didn't make it. So.
Hey, I just want you to know that Cody Allen gave up another run.
Oh, I know. He's been giving up 1 million home runs, but now there's 2 outs in the ninth.
You're gonna win, but I'm just saying that's not a good sign when he's been giving up.
It's weird because he doesn't give up singles. He strikes you out, or he gives up home runs. That's pretty much what he's been doing in the last month. It's been pretty frustrating, but that's all right. Non-safe situation. He turned it. It's not a safe situation now, even though it's now a 3-run lead, because he made it a 3-run lead.
Oh, man.
But it's all right. Luke Roy's batting, and he's been complete garbage, so that should be the end of the game.
I know. Could you believe
what happened to Jonathan Lucroy? I got to hear it from you, because last year he was the number 1 catcher in all of baseball. So I went out and traded for him in my fantasy team, thinking he's just off to a slow start. He'll turn it around. He's been hot garbage.
Well, his OBP is like fucking over 40 points lower than his career average. He's striking out like crazy.
No, he's striking out lower than he's traditionally struck out.
Not over the last couple of weeks.
Well, maybe the last couple of weeks, but for the season, his strikeout rate's lower than his career strikeout rate. He's just not driving the ball.
Well, his on-base percentage is literally like 40 points lower. So he's barely, that's a huge chunk. He's not getting on base. He's just not cranking any homers. He's only got 4 home runs. And he's not getting on base. He's only got 19 runs.
Well, Croy got a single.
Oh, well. His ears were ringing. We're talking shit about him on this podcast. I was pissed, man. I thought we were going to win tonight. We had Darvish on the mound. I love Darvish, that Japanese prince.
He's terrific. He really is. But Indians got to him. I think part of it was Texas making some bonehead defensive plays, too.
Yeah, we only had 1 error. We're not exactly the best fielding team in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, it is what it is. Hey, we have another news. Chris Paul's getting traded to Houston.
Yeah.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I did hear about it, but I didn't care that much.
Yeah, but
okay.
he's
the reason I'm James Harden. Now they're gonna have 2 really good.
Pretty much, and they what you got to think about this? It's the point I want to bring it up is we obviously aren't huge into basketball right now, but Chris Paul and James Harden coming together is just another team trying to create another super team, which is less parity in the league, which means you're going to have the same fucking problem with the playoffs sucking.
But you know what?
And they're saying that the way this trade played out, it's almost guaranteed that Houston's going to make a play for another big superstar again. Yeah. So they're gonna try and add like another Paul George.
I just want to throw it out there that Chris Paul had 2 superstars with the Clippers, alongside him, Lob City, and they still couldn't do shit. So
I think Chris Paul is one of the more overrated players in the league. I'm not a Chris Paul fan. That doesn't mean that I think he sucks. People always take overrated. You got to take it, within the context that it's said. He's still one of the best point guards in the league, but when people put him on this like upper echelon of the league, one of the better players in the league, I just don't see it. I never have. So you got to take it as the context I'm saying it in. That's like, I'm not saying he sucks. I'm just saying compared to what echelon people put him at, it doesn't match up for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. What were you going to say about
I want to get back to baseball, though, because there's something that happened this week, or that happened basically yesterday and today, that I think deserves some talking about. We got...
are you talking about Tebow hitting a home run?
No, come on, man. That guy is falling up right now in baseball.
Dude, he just hit a home run today.
Who cares that he hit a home run? He did not deserve to be promoted, but they promoted him anyway.
Dude, his leadership skills, he brings power.
Oh my God.
He hit a home run off a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean, that's big league shit right there.
That's like fifth starter shit.
Bullshit. That's what Greg Maddux topped out at as a career.
Yeah, Greg Maddux is not your typical ace.
I know he's the best control of all time.
But
okay, let's listen.
What I want to talk about is the Cubs. They've been struggling this year horribly. Like they're about to go back to 500 again. But yesterday they gave up 7 stolen bases to the Washington Nationals in a loss, and their catcher did not throw out a runner. He hasn't thrown out a runner all season. He's primarily been the catcher for Arrieta and Jonathan Lackey. And after the game, he got pissed. People have been blaming him for everything because basically they don't keep track of caught stealing, throw out percentages for pitchers. It's pretty much for catchers. Like that's pretty much how it matters. And he went, you know what? If they were giving me a chance to throw these guys out, maybe I would have better numbers. But they're slow to the plate and they're not holding guys on. And the Cubs released him today. Just went, get the hell out of here. DFA'd him. Designated for assignment. So I want to get your thoughts on the Cubs kicking him out. And I want to see if we can get a little dialogue going about this whole situation with Miguel Montero, the catcher. He's a backup catcher, by the way. It's not even like the starting catcher.
Yeah, but the thing is that they play him quite a bit.
Yeah,
they swap catchers around. But Wilson Contreras is throwing everybody out. He's their other catcher, and they promoted what the hell is his name? Caratini, and that dude's killing it. He's batting like well over 300. He's batting like 340, and he's got like 8 home runs and like 54 RBIs. The guy's a beast. So they got a catcher they're calling up anyway. The guy's like 0 for 32 on throwouts. He has the slowest release point, the slowest release time for any catcher that's in the league that starts. And then I think there's 66 qualifying catchers for that stat, and he's like ranked 44th. And last year he was ranked like 8th. Mm-hmm. So he's basically going down the shitter on his arm speed. He's calling out his teammates to the fucking media when that's not even necessary. He could have just talked to the house about that one. And they got a badass catcher coming up, and they have Contreras, who's a hell of a defensive catcher. So they didn't need him for one. And once he talks shit, that was just an excuse to get rid of him. So adios.
I will say this. I know that the second you open your mouth and you blame a teammate, you're fucked. That's the rules of baseball. Is you keep stuff in house and you don't talk to the media about stuff like that. But in his defense, okay, Arrieta and Lackey are not holding guys on. Like, if you want to be able to keep guys from stealing bases, you need to be releasing the ball like from you, when you decide to throw, and to home, you need to be getting the ball about 1.4 seconds. And or lower. I mean, most guys are lower, like if they're really good at it. And
the league average is
and Lackey, every pitch they threw this entire season, some guy actually went and measured it. They only had one time that they were under 1.5 seconds.
Oh, I have to correct myself. I was just talking about catchers. My bad.
Yeah. I'm not talking about Montero to second, because you know what?
I got you. I misunderstood.
Yeah. So I'm thinking half of the stolen bases, Montero didn't even throw it because it was so obvious that the guy was going to make it.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's not getting a chance, and then he's having to rush sometimes. When you're not getting a chance, it fucks up a lot of your other shit too. So I think he is fucked over.
And that's like Lester. They're kind of fucked because Lester doesn't even throw. He doesn't.
It wasn't Lester. It was Lackey, I think.
No. It's Lackey and Arrieta. But what I'm saying is the Cubs are fucked because those two guys are slow as shit to the plate, and then Lester doesn't even pick anybody off.
Yep.
So they're kind of in a shitty spot, and base runners just have a field day with the Cubs. They really do. So it's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. So, at the end of the day, it really doesn't mean shit, and you shouldn't talk shit about your teammates.
You shouldn't. But I can understand him.
You better be a superstar
because it all makes him look bad when it probably is a lot of the pitcher's fault.
Well, I think he knew that that they got this stud sitting over in Iowa, fucking killing it, in AAA.
Wow.
So he's like, he had to say something for when he gets released. He's probably like, any team that picks me up, I just want you to know that my pitchers are fucking extremely slow, and I'm gonna get cut for this fucking stud coming up from AAA. So pick me up. I think that's what he knew it was coming. It had to come. Mm-hmm. Damn it! Texas got 2 runs in the 9th, but they didn't win. Sons of bitches. Oh man. Hold on. Okay. I got a couple stories in the anonymous mailbag for our topic later, by the way. But what do you want to get into now, Brian? Hey, I do got. All right. Hold on. I got one more thing that I saw that I thought. You know what? We talked about it. No big deal. Oh yeah, no, I did. Real quick.
All right.
So
let's hear it.
Clinton Portis. There's a story that came out that Clinton Portis.
I just heard about this, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he went broke and he had some financial problems, and he was contemplating committing murder against one of the people that he felt fucked him over financially. So he sat outside the office building with a pistol in his hand. He was literally basically ready to kill this dude for squandering away his $43 million fortune. And then his friend had to talk him out of killing the dude. Now, what do you think about this? Do you think, just because the story's coming out, do you think that he's going to get some sort of repercussion for admitting that he was sitting outside a place with a pistol ready to kill the motherfucker?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't kill him, and he didn't shove the gun in his face, so there's no attempted murder either. If anything, people are probably going to be sympathetic that this guy stole a shit ton of his money and now he's broke. So,
yeah, that's true.
Could get him some endorsement deals.
Could you imagine if that happened? That'd be crazy. So he said that the guy cost him $3.1 million, and that there were withdrawals that he never knew about, and it was some casino in Alabama that was part of the deal. So he says he got pissed off because those dudes got no jail time, nothing, and they're just living happy. And all of a sudden, this dude, he's down $3.1 million, and he's basically he did file for bankruptcy. So I don't know, man. I saw these people that make these fortunes, not just these sports stars, but these guys that win the lottery and shit. They just squander their fucking money away like crazy. I mean, what is it? What is the problem?
Well, a lot of it is they're not used to having money, so they're used to just spending what they have. That's why they don't have a lot of money in the first place.
Look, I'm not rich by any means.
That money's never going to run out. I mean, the same thing goes to athletes. I mean, a lot of these guys come from impoverished backgrounds, and then they.
Yeah,
I mean, we kind of talked about it last week, like all the people that they're surrounded by that they brought up with them, their loyal friends, and that's why some of the guys take drugs and stuff. Same thing on why some of the guys don't handle their money. They're surrounded by people that don't know how to use their money. They don't know how to use their money. I mean, that's why the NFL is always doing those like shops, those team shops and stuff where they're trying to teach these guys how to handle and manage their money because they don't know how to handle success and wealth.
I feel like if you won one of those huge jackpots that were like record breakers, where you're after taxes and everything, you're taking home like 200 to 300 million. Remember those? A couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
There should be zero reason, I don't care where you came from, to ever go broke. Ever.
Oh yeah.
You could spend 200 million on nothing.
If I ever won it, I would not tell a soul. I would just start being more generous around my friends.
Yeah. I would not tell shit. I would tell my family, my immediate family. I would hook my immediate family up, and I would hook my friends up and people that I care about, but I wouldn't tell them where it's coming from. I'm investing well. Here you go. I'm just helping you out a little bit. And I would buy a badass house, but I'm not going to buy like a Tom Brady-esque mansion for $32 million. You know what I mean? I'm going to buy, a nice. It depends on where you buy. You know what I mean? If you're buying in San Diego or LA, you're going to pay $1 or $2 million for a house that you can get here in Ohio for $350,000 to $400,000. So it just depends on where you're buying. But I guess in comparison with Ohio prices, I'd buy a house for $500,000-$600,000, maybe $700,000. We're talking about if we had a couple $100 million. You know what I mean? I'm not going to buy a $1 million house if I just won $9 million. That's a terrible investment. You know what I mean? You're going to owe taxes on that shit every year for the rest of your life. That your money's just going to dwindle. But you can splurge. I'm not saying don't splurge. I tell you what, I'd have a fucking fleet of cars because I love them. But I would not be doing crazy shit that these people do, buying houses after houses after houses that are like $10 million and doing all this crazy shit and splurging on your posse. Having $100,000 in bills every month just feeding your posse. It's like fucking crazy to me. And yeah, I'm Phil Jackson saying posse. You know what I mean? But I just don't get how they run out of this money. It blows my fucking mind, and these people should know better. The people that are around them, I'm saying, if they want their gravy train, they should be like, having them invest that money so if they want to keep getting this kind of lifestyle over time instead of just getting a one-stop shop and then the dude that's feeding you is getting broke again. Clinton Portis is going to be fucked for the rest of his life now because he's not a big enough name to live off his name forever. And he lost all that money. So he's now just all that shit that he did, all that money that he made throughout his life is gone. And he came from a seriously impoverished time. His mom was raised him by herself, and I remember there was like an ESPN story about her being so damn poor, and he was basically living on dirt. So that kind of goes back to what you were saying, where these people come from nothing, and they start spending money. But at the same time, he knows where nothing feels like, and why would you ever want to go back there?
Hey, I'm just saying, they don't know.
So I guess you can go from one or two. I don't think that he'll ever make the Hall of Fame or anything, and I think he's also having some issues with concussions.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he'll sue the NFL, get a couple million. You never know, right? Right, Hemmy? Are you reading something?
Yeah,
Stop
sorry,
reading.
I was.
These long pauses are killing me. Okay,
sorry,
so what do you want to do?
I was looking up something for our next discussion topic.
All right.
Okay.
Oh my Lord.
Now.
All right. So, go ahead.
All right. This is kind of gonna be the running theme of the episode, so I just wanted to make sure I was prepared to talk about it and everything. So we're gonna be talking about crazy exes. Everybody has them. Sometimes you've been them. You just something doesn't end well, and people get hung up, and shit gets weird. So if you have any interesting stories about a crazy ex-girlfriend, a crazy ex-boyfriend. Maybe you were the crazy ex. Call in 347-850-8386. We want to hear your story. We're going to be telling some of ours as well. So let's get started. I know, Sharples, you've had a couple crazy ex situations just recently, even. So let's get to it. I want to hear some shit from you first.
Dude, some of my stories I can't exactly say.
That's okay. You can skip the ones that you're legally not allowed to talk about, but I'm sure that there's some that you legally can.
Oh, man. Basically everything that has to do with my ex-wife I can't talk about right now.
Well, I guess she can bring it up in court?
Yeah, pretty much. She'd probably bring it up in court and say I'm fucking defacing her or defaming her, whatever you want to call it. And
as long as it's the truth, it can't be defamed.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, let's get into some other chicks before I think of it. Go ahead and double check that.
I mean,
go to our legal expert.
Okay.
Legal Zoom.
Well, I know slander and libel are when you lie about somebody to damage their reputation. Libel is if you write about them and lie about them. Slander is if you say something and lie about them. Defamation itself is the act of damaging the good reputation of someone purposely. So I guess technically you can defamation by telling the truth if people think that you're going out of your way to make someone look like a piece of shit when everybody thinks they're okay. So, bro, I guess if you're really worried about it, you don't have to tell any crazy ex-wife stories.
No, I have a crazy ex story though. All right, so one time I'm not saying any names, but we're driving out in the country, and me and this girl we were dating, and Sarah. This is someone that argued with me quite a bit, and we were screaming in the car, and she's yelling at me about other girls talking to me or whatever. So we're going about 65 miles an hour down the road, and she literally starts to open the door and says she's like, I'm jumping out the fucking car. So she opens the door. I'm like, oh, shit. So I slam on my brakes. I turn right down the first country we were at. I turn down the road. I go, get the fuck out of the car. She goes, fine, motherfucker. She opens the door, gets out, shuts the door. I don't think she thought this was going to happen, but I drive fucking all the way 2 miles down the road. I drive 2 miles down the road till I hit the dead end where the stop sign is. And then I go, God damn it. Her cell phone's sitting on her seat. Like, she has nothing. And it's kind of hot. Not crazy hot, but kind of hot. And, dude, if she were to walk home, she wouldn't have made it by fucking midnight, and it was probably 6 o'clock at night. So, I mean, it was a long way from home. And so I turn around, and when I drive back there 2 miles, she's fucking literally sitting Indian style in the middle of the road. That shit
she
was
she knew you were going to come back and get her?
Dude, she was sitting Indian style with her hands like under her chin, you know what I mean? Her face was resting on her hands, just fucking staring at in the fucking middle of the road. When I stopped, I'm just laughing at her. I'm like, get in the fucking car, let's go. Dude, she gets in the car and doesn't say a word. Nothing. Yeah. Complete silence. She could not believe that she's sitting in the middle of the road waiting for me to come back. Oh, that was great. That's one. I got a couple of. Go ahead.
We'll get to all of them because it's going to be the running theme of the show. But first, let's take our first caller for the evening. Brett from Columbus. Do you have anything you would like to contribute in our crazy exes stories?
Shocker. I call in. Sharples told me to call in because I think my ex is like the Michael Jordan of crazy exes. She's like, her stats are just unmatched.
Well,
you know,
I always hoped you'd be the guy that takes the girl's last name if you guys had actually gone through with this. Because Brett Butts would have been hilarious.
Yeah, we should tag her. In this conversation so she can know how shitty of a person she is. Sharples, You're probably still friends with her.
I don't know. No, I think she deleted me because I like Trump. She's a crazy hippie bitch.
So the funny thing is actually this week I actually I was working on my computer and I set my glasses down and I ended up kneeling on them on accident and breaking them, and I was just like, oh man, I haven't broke my glasses forever. And it reminded me of the last time my glasses actually broke, and it was when I got in an argument with my ex, and she literally ripped them off of my face and like just broke them in half, like in front of me. Just like took them off my face and just broke them on the bridge and then threw them across the room. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, who does that? Like, I was in college. I didn't have any money to my name, and you're just going to break my glasses. I think the same night she took my Xbox controller and threw it through my glass window, shattered my glass window. There was glass all over my bed, so I had a cardboard piece like in my window for about a week and a half until my landlord could get it fixed. And I don't know what excuse I made. I was like, yeah, I had like a weird nightmare and I accidentally kicked the window and shattered it. Like, what excuse can you come up with to you shattering your window, you know?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. They need, my ex-wife and your ex-girlfriend need to just fucking have a battle of who's the crazy. Like in one night this happened. I was on my laptop and a girl messaged me on Facebook and Bianca stole my laptop. First of all, she rustled it from me and I'm like, God damn it, I can't touch a woman. So I was like, fuck it, take it. So she reads the conversation. It was nothing sexual or anything bad, but I had a personal conversation with this girl about like how me and Bianca were having some issues and stuff. I've known her since like we were like 10. She's from our hometown. Bianca goes, God damn it.
Oh, now you got to see who the girl was.
She goes, her name's Sam. Anyways, she's like, God damn it. She grabs my laptop, picks it over her head, and slams the motherfucker down. And I lived in this home in Arizona, and my entire downstairs is all tile, Spanish tile. Fucking shatters my laptop. I go, what the fuck's wrong with you? I go, all my shit's on there. And then she goes, oh, yeah? Grab my cell phone. My brand new cell phone. Goes, what do you think of this? Slams that shit down on the tile, breaks my cell phone, grabs a fucking one of those like bamboo like Asian pottery things, grabs one of those, it's got stones in it and like bamboo tree, fucking slams that fucker down. Dude, this goes on a rampage, bro. On a fucking rampage. I was like, oh my god. So
I got a similar one like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She obviously cheated on me multiple times with coworkers and with people that I had to literally sit next to every single day, which, you know, that's not awkward. So I literally caught her in the act of like cheating and like saw somebody message her like on her computer. I was like, oh, what does this say? And she like tries to yank the computer away from me, and this is her computer, mind you. So I'm like, no, let me read it. If it's not a big deal, like if you got nothing to hide, like let me see it. Because obviously no trust whatsoever, you know what I mean? She takes her computer, like I'm holding on to it. She shatters her own computer screen just to have me not see what the fuck this person sent to her. Shatters her own computer screen. I'm just like, dude, you're like next level crazy. Like you just broke your own computer because you didn't want me to read like an email from somebody. Like that's kind of fucked up.
Dude, she was not having it. She was not having it.
It always involved either breaking something or throwing something. Like back before they had like auxiliary cords, I had like one of those tape adapters, like for my iPod, you know?
Yeah, I did too.
I was like playing something, she's like, I don't want to listen to this. I was like, well, I'm driving, so I kind of do, like, you know what I mean? It was like a long distance, it was like a 2-hour drive or whatever. She's like, well, I don't. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. She literally rips that bit. She doesn't eject it. She like rips it out of the tape deck. We're in like the middle of like a highway, like going 70 miles per hour. Fucking rolls down the window and just throws it out the window in the middle of the fucking highway. I'm just like, all right, I guess we're just listening to the radio now because neither one of us is going to get to listen to what we want to now. So great job. Great logical thinking.
See, and I thought I had some issues.
Stop that
you guys
shit,
are all
Hemmy.
just smashing
I told
stuff.
you, man.
Destruction of property.
Sharples and my exes are the LeBron Michael Jordan debate. like who's the better ex?
Yeah, mine is more psychological stuff. Like
Hemmy playing psychological games.
No, like I had a long distance relationship for a few years, and the girl never was able to fully trust me, even though I never cheated on her once. And like she was always trying to like ask to see my phone and see my stuff. And, you know, I'd go over to her house sometimes and I'd log into my things and she would save my passwords for everything. I didn't know about this. So eventually I find out that she has my passwords for my school email, my regular Gmail, my Facebook, my student school records, there's like this online forum I was on. She would know.
Got a Hemmy 1 exclamation point.
She would know if I had like logged onto a forum to talk about the Cleveland Indians. There was this video game I was playing online. She like had my password to that, and she would log into and read like my messages and stuff on that.
Well, is it because you use the same password for everything though?
No. It was I had she just chose save password at her computer at her house. Like I wasn't like logging out of everything perfectly. I mean, it's my freaking girlfriend, whatever. But she saved everything so that it automatically, and I hadn't changed my password, so she just would access all of that stuff constantly, and then try to like steer a conversation in a direction to try to get me to lie about something. Like if she knew that I said I fell asleep, but then I played like that game for like 3 hours later that night, she'd be like, "Oh, so did you fall asleep last night?" I'm like, "Yeah." Then how come you were playing that game until 3 in the morning?
What time did you fall asleep? Was it exactly 11 o'clock p.m.?
All your problems, Hemmy, run back to video games. You gotta check that habit.
I did have a pretty bad video game addiction at that time. Like I was.
This last chick you were banging, you ignored her and stopped talking to her because you were playing that video game.
Mass Effect.
Yeah, you had a mass effect on your sex life, is what happened.
Okay.
Hey, we got a couple stories in our mailbag. So listen to this one.
All right, let's hear them.
Okay, so this girl says, "So I dated this guy who was just not all there. He was Army infantry and he had bad PTSD. We met online and he was really sweet at first, nothing abnormal. When the time came, he told me he only wanted to have sex with me with a sex toy." So he goes, he wouldn't fuck me for like a month, strictly dildo. I mean, I didn't complain because it was fun, but I finally begged him to fuck me, and he was really embarrassed about how small his dick was. It was pretty small. He was drunk the first time and actually cried a little when I finally saw it. It was so weird. I mean, it was small, but I didn't end it because of that.
Needle dick. I was thinking maybe like he had something and he just needed to buy some time to get it cleared up downstairs. No, I'm like super into dildo play. I just need to do this for a month or so.
She's had a straight month that she had to get banged by a dildo before the guy would really give her the real thing. So I got another story that was to us. She's talking about one time while I was dating, this guy, his best friend from high school, was sending him dick pics.
What?
Yeah. She said maybe he is gay and will come out one day.
Wait, what?
Bro. Dude. She said one time I was dating this guy and his best friend from high school was sending him dick pics. Dude,
maybe
that is super gay.
Yeah. Dude, you're totally gay. You opened my dick pic. What a queer. I got you.
It's like playing the Batwing game on fucking waiting. You can kick him in his ass and call him a fag.
It's so fun. So I got one last story about the ex, just to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Bring it all full circle, because we were like, we dated for like 7 years, and I think after 5 years, I'm just like, I'm not marrying this girl at all. Like, there's no way that I would ever be happy with this person. So it was just kind of like staying out of convenience, you know? But I've been moved back to Ohio for over 4 years now, and I'd say, you know, after about a year of living back in Ohio, I got like an email from her, you know, just saying like, hey, you know, just want to let you know, like, I'm sorry for everything that happened, and blah, 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 and, you know, I wasn't the best person, and I did these shitty things, and you know, whatever. So I was like, wow, like, holy shit, like, she actually took responsibility for her actions and stuff like that, and I was like, hey, that's great, like, I'm sorry, too, I wasn't the best person in the world, but, you know, shit happens, and, you know, I'm moving forward with my life, all the best type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like, closure, that's like, so amazing. Like, it felt so good to just have her, like, apologize and, like, for all the shitty things, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like, I told Cassie about it, let her read the entire thing just to be open and honest with her. And she's like, oh, well, that's good. So, like, a few weeks go by, and I get another email, like, from her that was like, you know, I've been thinking about it the last few weeks. You know, you were a shitty person, and I'm not sorry for all the shit that I did to you, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, it basically, like, reinforced every feeling that I had about her. Like, she's just fucking psycho, crazy. Like, I was like,
dude, you just described a woman. That's not even crazy.
But I'm just thinking to myself, like, she must have just been stewing on it for, like, weeks and weeks. And I was just like, I was feeling so good that there was, like, finally closure. And then she just, like, berades me with this just shit-filled email. And I was like, all right, well, I guess it's officially time for me to block you on, like, every sort of, like, contact, email, phone, Facebook, Instagram. Like, Jesus, I don't even want to, like,
Jesus
have
Christ.
You be able to contact me. Like, it's ridiculous.
She's a fucking freak show. Dudes, I guess I didn't get the full story from our message from our listener on that dude with the small dick that would only fuck her with a dildo. So this is the rest of the story. A little bit more into the relationship, he asked me to go with him to his vampire club, quote unquote, where these people actually like. Hold on.
Is this under the PS section? Did you just not read the PS part?
Uh-oh. Sharple's getting an intruder.
Yeah, I got an intruder. I can't talk about this shit with my children around.
But you can say shit.
Hold on, they're not in the room. For our listeners, normally I have my studio time by myself, but today I have my beautiful children in the house, and they're supposed to be in the bed. So they run out here just now and say, I'm not gonna bother your show, Daddy. I just have to go potty.
Tell us
they're
about
done
the
now.
Vampire again.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we got to get more about the vampire.
They're back in their room. I just want to let the viewers know why there's little children behind me. So anyway, so they asked me to go to this vampire club where these people actually like to have orgies, drink each other's blood. I literally had no words. I had to end it after that. She goes, it was like an underground club shit he was a part of. I freaked out when he told me that. He was into some fucked up shit. I should have known when he asked me to cut my wrist and suck on it. That's my life.
Like, I love how that was the final straw. Like, nothing leading up to that one moment.
Can I get that chick's
like,
number?
gave her any sort of indication.
It takes a while to really freak her out. So,
dude, I'm trying to hit it right now, so fuck off. I'm just kidding. But listen.
I'm joking too.
I am too.
All right, I've got one, and it's not like super crazy, but I just thought it was funny more than anything.
All right, let's hear it.
Like when I was really involved in the MMA scene, like covering a lot of like Brazilian fighters and stuff. some like random Brazilian people started adding me on Facebook, I think, because they liked some of my interviews I'd done with some Brazilian fighters.
Yeah.
And this like pretty good looking Brazilian chick just starts messaging me all like out of nowhere, like repeatedly. And I was like,
Hold on,
well,
Hemmy.
I have no idea what the fuck she's saying. So
Hemmy.
I just start switching over to Google Translate.
Oh,
and I just copy what she's saying. What?
I got a question.
Yeah.
Did she ask you if you had a bank account that she can transfer $3 million into?
No.
Did she say she was kidnapped by a prince? And
no, I promise this is a real person. I promise it's a real person.
Keep going. Okay. I want to interrupt.
She had like kids and some other shit. But she just started messaging me like, and I would just go to Google Translate and just come up with shit just to say back to her because I was still working my way up on learning Portuguese, and
are you fluent
I was trying
now?
to learn it so I could talk to these Brazilian fighters, but I mean I wasn't fluent, so I'm basically just Google translating with this chick back and forth. It never got serious or anything, but like she sent me some like pretty good look, nice pictures, like, and I swear she's a real person, and she would like go through
and copyright on it.
No, and she would like every single one of my pictures that I had ever posted. Like just random.
The strong foundation of every, new relationship should be Google Translate.
Yeah. I never dated the chick or anything. I just talked to her a little bit. But like then she started getting weird. She started commenting on like every one of my pictures that I'd ever posted. If you go through my old Facebook pictures, you'll see like random comments and likes from this chick. I swear.
I'm going right now.
Yeah, you can. And
like the best part is you're probably still friends with this person on Facebook.
I don't think so. No, she like I just stopped talking to her because she wanted me to like go to Brazil, and I was like, obviously I didn't feel like going to Brazil. Plus she had like
I feel
four
like
kids.
This is the start of some weird like
Alcavone
video.
I think was her first name. But yeah,
it's gonna be like this video of
weird.
like Hemminger being tied with a rope to a chair, like being held captive. Like,
holy shit, there she is.
I told you.
I mean, who is this dude? I'm not sure. Yeah, she's a real person.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
I wasn't joking. Like it wasn't like
just
some Nigerian scam. But I mean,
dude, she just wanted you to marry her and get her the fuck out of
relationship. She was pretty good looking. I didn't even speak her language. She wanted me to come be with her in Brazil, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna move on to somebody I could actually meet.
Lob. So this chick, I think she's a fucking promoter or something. So it's like her goddamn cover photo it's got a dude wearing a Michael Jackson shirt. And the other dude's wearing a backwards hat with a fucking accordion.
You talking about
nothing wrong with that?
Yeah, the El Savone Leo.
Yeah.
Dude, that's pretty funny.
So she was like a hairstylist or something.
Yeah. Dude, that's fucking great. Dude, I tell you what, I had a story when we were like 15 years old, right? So I lived right outside of Ocarbo. And one of my best buddies was dating this chick who was kind of crazy at the time. And they got in a huge fight, and we like kicked him out of the house. And mind
Who's
you,
your buddy?
I don't want to talk about it because I don't want any names going out there. I'll tell you later. But anyways, her friend was a slut bag, and she was the first pussy I've ever touched in my whole life. She was like the first pussy a lot of people touched. I'm gonna have to wager. But anyway, we're at my house. Aaron gets upset. Oh, God damn it. Quote unquote, George gets upset. Anyway, kicks this fucking chick out the house. This is after I walked upstairs and caught him eating her pussy with Cool Whip. He flung out from under the covers, and when he flung the covers out, the fucking Cool Whip container flew out. So he gets pissed at her, and it's a goddamn thunderstorm outside. We kicked these two bitches out, One's cool now. I actually like her. The other one, she's a weirdo. But anyway, we kick these chicks out. They're fucking screaming outside. Next thing I know, the chick walks up to my patio. I have a little, like a little steps leading up to my side door of my house, and there's a big window looking into my kitchen. She takes her goddamn shoe off. She starts knocking on the window. She's like, let me in. Let me in. She's back in my window. She fucking breaks one. Because it was like those little like square window panes that are like all like make up one big window, but they're a bunch of small ones. She shatters one, and she's like, "Oh fuck!" And her and her little slutty friend ran off into the fucking darkness in the goddamn middle of a thunderstorm. Ran off. My mom comes home and she's all pissed. She's like, "What the hell happened to our window?" And I had to tell her some crazy bitches were over and broke it with a shoe.
And who the hell ate all my Cool Whip?
Holy shit.
I wanted to have a nice piece of pumpkin pie, and there's no Cool Whip.
I was gonna say if the Cool Whip container hadn't flopped out, I was gonna say maybe the chick was just like really creamy.
Yeah, that's fucking gross. Hemi for the win. No, dude, I'll tell you what. That girl.
Have you ever had your parents like walked in on you doing anything?
No, but my brother, my mom walked in to my brother pounding out two chicks. My mom walked in on my brother. I thought you were going to say pounded himself out. No. My brother caught me pounding out to Ginger on the Rocks. That was another episode.
Under your Vikings blanket?
Yeah, so my mom walked upstairs in this house that this shit happened in, and my brother's banging out his ex-girlfriend Melanie. And then one time she walked in, and my brother's on the floor of the living room banging out his now wife, Tasha. My mom caught her. My mom caught my brother's best friend Jimmy fucking his girlfriend on the couch in that living room. My mom's like, "This is some bullshit," and she nicknamed Jimmy Thumper.
Your mom's house is like Bang Central.
Yeah, dude. My mom, she wasn't around much because she was working, and at this time she was dating my stepdad, but she still had the house in Oak Harbor, but she was spending a lot of time with him there before they moved in. So we had some freedom. And my mom caught a couple people banging. She never caught me because back then I was only finger banging. You know what I mean? I was still a pussy, not getting any pussy. So anyways, that chick that I said that was outside in the thunderstorm, well, the first time I ever touched a vagina in my whole entire life was with this girl, and I had her over one night. She walked over, and she lived like in the country. She like walked to the country to get to me. And like, I remember laying down on the floor of that living room where my mom catches all the people. My mom's at work, I think. I don't remember. But anyways, I'm just like, I remember slipping my hand down her pants, and she had the baldest baby bottom vagina ever. And I remember my fingers just slipped right in. It wasn't even, I'm like, God damn. And now I'd be like, wow, this girl's a skank. But at that time, I didn't even know what pussy was supposed to feel like. So I'm just like, oh my God. Dude, it was crazy. It was crazy. I nutted in my pants.
Where was the most awkward place that you guys have ever done anything with a girl?
Let's see. Are you fucking kidding me? I've done shit in crazy places.
Let's see. Ohio State Library.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Nice, bro. What'd you do? You better not just say you've made all the girl.
Oh, no.
It was the librarian, actually.
No, you banged her in the Ohio State Library? Dude, I fucked a girl in the post office on a military base. I fucked a girl in the woods on a four-wheeler. I fucked a girl on a jet ski in the middle of the lake in the middle of the daytime. Oh, man, dude. I've been all over the damn place.
Drive-in theater?
I think I've done fooled around with a chick in a theater, but I think the most awkward place that I ever did anything with a girl is I fingered a girl on a school bus on the way home from a sporting event with like everybody on the bus.
Her name begins with an E?
No.
Oh, okay.
Starts with an A.
Okay. Oh, I know. Nice. High five through the mic.
I remember I think the first time I ever touched a boob was with you. We were up in my house in Michigan.
Oh yeah.
Like snowmobiling or some shit like that.
No, it was the summer. We just went out and hung out with your parents kept saying no girls.
There's like a little local pond where like people go and fish and stuff, and Sharples and I like scope out these two girls. We're like, let's go talk to them. Okay, cool, let's go.
Pick them up.
Pick them up. Never like met these girls ever before in our life, and within probably an hour, they were back at our house, and we're like feeling them up and stuff in the basement.
Rubbing their
the most awkward situation. I'm, sitting probably 15 feet away from Sharples. And my dad like comes on the back door, like trying to come in. I'm like, oh shit, like there's girls in here, like he's gonna know we're like fucking around. He's like, I think you ladies need to leave. They just freaking bolt.
I'm like, you fucking cockblocker. Dude, do you remember that girl wrote me a letter? She wrote me a letter. I gave her my address. This is back in the day. This is junior high, Hemmy. This is pre-Facebook, like people text messaging each other. This is the fucking stone age.
You tell this, and then I have a really embarrassing junior high one that I'm going to tell. After.
Oh yeah. Well, this is just bad. Like she wrote me a letter, and she's like, when she told me straight up, in the letter, like if you and Brett come back up here, because I was like trying to, dude, I'm not gonna lie, dude, straight up, I was trying to eat her out. I was like obsessed with, like, my first time ever with a vagina. I wanted it to be like eating a girl out. I know that sounds sick. My mom's probably listening to this shit. It is what it is. But she kept saying, I don't feel comfortable with you doing that, but I promise if you meet us tonight, I'll blow you. So anyways, she sends me this letter in the mail. I get it. And it ended up being like, I remember her name to this day. It's Megan Golan. Anyway, they're saying, like, next time you and Brett come up, I promise I'll let you do that to me. And all this other shit. It was awesome.
I love that it's, like, ingrained in your memory. Like, you remember her name. I couldn't even tell you what the fuck they look like at all. And
dude, I don't remember what she looked like either. I'm going to Facebook her right now. Like, hey, call into our show if you remember this.
All right. You guys ready for, like, an extremely embarrassing story?
Let's hear it.
Well, yeah, always.
All right. This was in junior high. Do you remember when Lindsay Matheny first moved to Oak Harbor and, like, the most ridiculous rumors were getting spread around her, right?
Yeah.
Like she had huge boobs. She had the biggest boobs in the whole grade.
That's what I was going to say. It's because she was the only one that had, like, developed boobs. That's why.
Yeah. And
all the other
just
girls
the
were
craziest rumors were getting spread about her, like, that she was already banging people and, like, that she... I think I've heard one that was like she got in the shower with Jenna Howie, like just all kinds of crazy shit. Okay, yeah, I swear I heard a rumor. It was a rumor. I don't know, probably a rumor. But anyway, so I don't know why, but like you know how when lunch the bell rang and then everybody's like packed trying to get through like the little doorway, so everybody's just like stuck there. Well, she was in front of me. And her ass was just like right there. And I just kind of put my hand down and like brushed against it. And I was like, oh, that was nice. And then I fucking squeezed it. And all of a sudden, because I'm just thinking, she's a whore. She'll like it. And all of a sudden she's like, jolt.
You sexually assaulting motherfucker.
She like jolts, okay? And I just go, oh, fuck. So I like just start scooting to the right real quick. And she just turns around and fucking slaps Paul Wansettler right in the face.
Dude, that's awesome.
So, if anybody ever wants to tell Paul Wansettler about the time that I got him slapped in the face, feel free. He's still out there somewhere in Oak Harbor.
Hey, brother.
Yeah. So, Paul, my bad. That was the creepiest thing I think I ever did in my life, and I framed a decent man.
That's great, dude. I got too many crazy stories. I couldn't even get into the crazy ones about Bianca other than the smashing in my stuff. That's crazy. She physically assaulted me a couple times.
Oh, God.
Lord.
I wish you could just tell what you just texted me. So
I know. Hemmy, I'll tell you later.
Okay, I need to hear this when you.
This shit can't go on air.
Okay, maybe you can Skype me after the episode.
Hey, I do have a funny. Like, it's not a crazy X story, but a crazy hookup story.
Okay, so we'll do that one, and then we'll move on to our final discussion topic.
Sure, no problem.
Hemminger's got to keep it on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to go too off the rails.
Well, this is all part of the subject. This is the gold mine people love to listen to. So, anyways, me and Wes, our buddy Wes, we get drunk and down at downtown Columbus, and we go back to Wes's house, and we bring back a couple of girls. Well, the girl that I have, she's fucking crazy. So, like, I get her naked, we're in bed, we're doing everything you do when you're drunk and having fun. So, anyways, I flip her over and I go to like bang her and I like get my wiener in place and it's about the tips going in and she grabs my cheeks by my face and she's like, I can't do this. I go, okay, that's fine. She goes, no. And she grabs my ass pose and she goes, I just want to be with you. I met her that night. I had no idea. I forgot her name. And she was like, she grabs me by my cheeks. I just want to be with you. And I look at her straight in the eye and I go, all right, let's be together. Let's be together. She says, bam. Two become one now.
Well, at least he didn't say I love you.
Do you think I should? You think I should tell the Tina story of one of our friends?
Oh yeah, that's great. Hemmy, please let us tell this one, and then we're done.
All right.
Okay.
All right. This sounds like this one could be topping everything potentially.
Not everything, but it's pretty funny.
No, but it's pretty good. So one of our friends, he went to high school with us. Shall remain nameless because it's just it's bad. But so he, like, our freshman year at college, like, Facebook wasn't huge, but like everybody would like talk on AOL and stuff. So our friend somehow gets talking to this girl on AOL, and she like lives across campus, and he's talking to her for a few weeks, and he's like, well, maybe we should meet up. She's like, okay, well, that sounds good. He's like, well, maybe you should come over. She's like, I don't think I should. He goes, well, why not? She goes, well, I injured my ankle getting out of my bunk bed. He's like, okay, well, that sucks. He goes, well, why don't I come to you? She goes, I don't know if that's a good idea either. Like, maybe we should just wait a while. And he goes, no, it'll be fine. So she's just making up 1,000 excuses on, like, why not to meet. And I just remember our friend coming to us and being like, hey, man, you got to come with me. Like, I'm, like, super weirded out. But he goes, just walk to her dorm room with me, and then once I go in, you can just jet. I'm like, all right, well, I'll be your wingman. I'll make you feel comfortable. I'll let you go get something from somebody, So I walk with him, and I'm, like, at the end of the hallway, and he just, like, looks at me, and he just kind of, like, nods his head and knocks on the girl's door. And I just remember seeing the door open, and he literally does, like, his entire body, like, flings backwards, and he's like, whoa! And he goes, hey, how's it going? And then he just, like, awkwardly, like, walks into a room, and I was like, okay, well, that's cool. So I walked back to the computer lab, and me and Wes are playing poker, not doing our schoolwork, and he comes back, like, 15 minutes later. I was like, dude, what happened? He's like, dude, I fucking bolted. I was like, what? He goes, I had to get the fuck out of there. I was like, what happened? He goes, she was literally like 400 pounds, dude. I just had to leave. He goes, she rolled off of her futon like Jabba the Hutt. Like, she couldn't even, like, just stand up straight off of her futon. She had to roll off of it. He goes, she gave me a blowy, and He goes, it was the best blowjob I've ever had in my life. And then he just looks at me like dead stare in his face. He goes, dude, she was a fucking Hoover. Like, and I start laughing. And then I go, well, then what happened? She goes, she like whispers in my ear, now it's my turn. And he goes, all right, well, I have to go to the water fountain real quick to get a drink. And he goes, I fucking just ran. I didn't know what the fuck to do. I just got the fuck out of there.
I have to go somewhere other than here.
He's like, I have to go get a drink at the drinking fountain. So, like, 2 days later, I'm telling one of our friends at lunch about it, Scott Avery. And Scott goes, whoa. You mean Tina? And I was like, yeah. And he, like, says the girl's name. He goes, oh, my God, that bitch is so fucking huge. He goes, she's in one of my classes. That fucking bitch is like Jabba the Hutt. And I go, that's what I said. It was just like
Tina the burrito.
Like, yeah. And so needless to say, it was just hilarious that he just bolted. He ran. He didn't know what to do.
The most hilarious part is that he stayed and got a blowjob.
Dude, yeah.
But
we gotta work.
He called her a Hoover.
Hey, we're going to have to work on your delivery.
Right.
That goddamn story is funnier than you made it sound. The fucking dude opens the door. He's got his hands in his pockets. And as soon as he opens the door, he fucking rocks back. He's like, whoa. Hey.
I just remember looking at him, and I was like, well, it looks like it's okay. He's like awkwardly walking in. I don't know. Like,
dude, it was our buddy that definitely just needed some ass. He didn't give a shit. He did not care. So he got a fucking Hoover blowjob, and he hauled ass out of there. It's like, that shit cranks me up so bad. Oh, man, we've all been there. All right, Bob, it was good talking with you, buddy.
All right, guys. I'm out.
All right. Yep. Continue to listen to our Women in Sports next segment.
Why the hell would I want to do that?
Because it's really funny.
It's men versus women.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
All right, bro.
All right, later.
All right. So
that was a great time.
Yeah, that's some good shit. So let's move on. The final discussion topic of the evening is men versus women in sports, and the latest thing to bring it up is John McEnroe had something to say about Serena Williams. He said, he said she's the greatest woman player of all time, hands down, and he's right. She's amazing.
Oh,
but then he said, but she probably couldn't beat the top 700 men right now. And then people went fucking berserk. They went berserk about how sexist and misogynistic he is. How dare he say that she couldn't beat the number 700 ranked man? And you know what? Well, first I want to get your thoughts on it, and then I'm going to bring in all my research and shit that I've been doing on this. And then we've got stories, like just times that maybe you've squared off against girls in sports, just all kinds of stuff. So if you've got stuff that you want to talk about, men versus women in the same sport, we want to get your thoughts. We kind of talked about a little bit with the whole transsexual thing a while ago, but this is like straight up men versus women in sports. So there's no transsexual anything.
First, I'm gonna make.
So let's get your thoughts here, Sharples.
I'm gonna make a bold statement.
All right.
With my strength, my wrestling and in boxing background, I'm not even joking about this. I'm not even trying to make a funny joke. I am confident that I would fucking plow through Ronda Rousey. And she was a goddamn world champion, and basically people were talking about her whooping Floyd Mayweather's ass and all this other shit.
Yeah. You think about how hilarious that is, by the way. People were saying Ronda could smash Floyd Mayweather, and then Conor McGregor, who's 20 pounds heavier than Ronda, is now booked in a fight with Floyd Mayweather, and Mayweather is a massive favorite.
Yeah.
and when Ronda was at her peak, people were saying Ronda could smash Floyd.
Yeah, because she wasn't fighting people like freaking Nunes. Look at Nunes picked her apart boxing, and freaking Holly Holm. But I'm serious. Like I think I'm a good enough boxer and a good enough wrestler that I would murk her. I would beat the fuck out of Ronda Rousey. I don't hit women, but if you put me in a cage with her, I'd fucking put her in the ICU. Anyway, we're going on to this.
I'm saving that one. I'd put her in the
save
ICU.
it, and you can fucking tag her, and we can have a goddamn fight. I'll beat the shit out of her.
Oh no, I won't even say like you talking about Ronda. I'll just leave it like just you saying randomly you put a girl in an ICU. So
anyways, I don't know if there's 700 male tennis players out there that are worth the shit.
Oh yeah, there's rankings up past 700.
Oh,
like
is there?
Those 700, number 700 doesn't get invited to like the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
like, you're out there fighting it out in some like backyard shit. But there are professionals.
I would say there's at least half that. I think there would be at least 350 male tennis players that would beat her. That doesn't take away from the fact that she is the best female tennis player of all time, most likely. She is amazing. She's a hell of an athlete. She's built like a brick shit house. She's a hell of an athlete, and she seems to be a decent person. So I have nothing against Serena Williams at all. This is a strictly fucking physical thing. I just don't think that it's not on point. Like, so for instance, I was laughing because this was actually a couple weeks ago. I was following our local girls softball team. They were like ranked top 4 in the state, and they were going really deep and they went to the Final Four. I'm pretty sure they made it to either the Elite Eight or the Final Four of the state tournament for softball. Well, I started looking at all the Ohio State high school spring sports. I looked at the track, and I saw the state champions 100-meter dash time, and the girls' state 100-meter dash time was like 11:05 or 11:06. It was something whack as hell. And I'm like, my fastest time in high school, and I only ran track the 1 year because I got in trouble and couldn't play baseball that one time. I ran 11:2 was my fastest time ever.
Yeah.
11:2 was my fastest time ever. And I'm like, I would have fucking been a state champion. And I was decent. Like when we had SBCs, I made the final heat, but I didn't even place top 4 because we had some studs that were running like 10.9s and shit. And I'm thinking like I was decent at best for a white kid running the 100-meter dash. And this girl ran 4/10 slower than me and fucking was a state champ. And I started looking at I started delving into more like the hurdles and stuff like that. And it seems like the girls fare better in the hurdles when they kind of close the gap on the men. But one of the things I looked at was I looked at the world bench record, and the best female record is like 551 pounds. Well, the male record is literally double that. It's like 1,075 pounds. And you got the world record for the male 100 meter is like 9.5 by Bolt, but you got 10.5 by Florence Griffith Joyner in like 1988. No woman's touched it since. So it's like a whole second slower. So I'm like, it's just physical nature. It's just the way things are. It's not that we're trashing women saying they're not anything. And I was looking at these stats. I could only find it up to 2014, but there was only 11 dunks in the WNBA through 2014. And I'm willing to wager. I know Brittany Griner did it, but I'm thinking there's probably less than 20 now. Maybe 20.
Yeah, and men there's 20. There's 20 a game.
Yeah, 20 a game. It's just athletics. It's just physics. It's just the nature of the beast. It's biology. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I wanted to get into is what's hilarious about this whole thing is the Williams sisters have already had a match against a man. It's not like hugely publicized, but in 1998 they were out bragging, saying that they could beat anybody ranked outside the top 200. I don't know if you've heard about this, Sharples. Have you?
Say that again. You cut out a little bit there for me.
Okay. In 1998, both Venus and Serena, they were just smashing people. And, this was pretty early in their careers, but still, they were winning everything. And they went out and said that they could beat any man that was ranked outside the top 200. So, a guy named Karsten Brasch, a German tennis player who was ranked 206th in the world, said, okay, I'll take your challenge. And he wrote an essay about what happened in the games. So I want to read to you part of what he had to say.
Okay.
He goes, my advice is if you're ever in a position to play a match of this nature is to be patient. Don't be annoyed or surprised if your match against the Williams sisters is canceled, as they both have very busy schedules. My game against them had to be reorganized at least a couple of times. Preparation is crucial. Remember that a game like this is lighthearted. Taking it too seriously would be a mistake. My training regime consisted of a leisurely round of golf in the morning, followed by multiple shandies. I turned up on the court feeling suitably laid back. My first game of the afternoon, just a one-set match, was against Serena. A hint, try and play your match somewhere quiet where you're not going to be pestered by big crowds and lots of press. We were out in the back courts at Melbourne Park. Number 17, I think. I felt so relaxed that I didn't even warm up properly. We started playing, and I raced into a 5-0 lead, eventually winning 6-1. At this point, Venus turns up to watch. She had just finished a press conference about a quarterfinal loss to Lindsay Davenport. And after my game against Serena, Venus was on the court by the time I was done against Serena, ready to go against me as well. That game against Venus was very similar. I ended up beating her 6-2. Both sisters are great tennis players and hit the ball well. However, if you're playing in the men's tour, there are certain shots you can play that are going to put them in difficulty. We just put way more spin on the ball. We hit the ball harder, and we can get to the balls faster. So after the match, both Venus and Serena adjusted and said that they think they could beat anybody outside the top 350. This guy literally drank multiple alcoholic beverages, played a round of golf, and they had just played in the Australian Open, and this guy just had his way with them.
I gotta imagine that was around the time that Venus was around the number one ranking in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Venus was the number one ranked for a couple years. Mm-hmm. She was the top dog, and
she
Serena
was older. Beat up. Serena was like
Serena finally came into her own, and she just took shit over.
Exactly. It's already happened. Like, I don't know why it's such a big controversy. I guess because in this day and age, how dare somebody say a woman can't do what a man can do? But that's just nature. It's how humans operate. It's how, like, the story I like to bring up, and I already told Sharples about this, was girls basketball against boys basketball. You mentioned the whole dunking thing, but even just in high school or junior high, our junior high boys team was terrible. Like, I think we won 2 games that year. We went like 2-14. It was terrible. We only beat like Edison twice or something. I mean, it was bad. And we got shit talked constantly by the girls team in our grade because they went like, 14-0 or 13-1 or something ridiculous. And they were saying they could smash us if we ever played. But their coach smartly never let us play against them. And one day, just during that season, we were practicing at the high school, and the girls' JV team was playing. They were practicing, and they wanted to match us up against each other. And I think the JV team that year ended up going 20-0. So they were good. And I'm not lying. It was the easiest scrimmage I ever had in my entire life. Like, I scored 15 points in my entire life in junior high, and I think I scored 15 points that game. I was terrible, but it was the easiest thing. Like, I got every rebound because I was like 6 inches taller than any of them. We were just so much more physical. Our ball handling was so much better. We could run plays. We could jump higher. We were stealing the ball at will. So halfway through the scrimmage, they just threw in the towel, and I think Coach Brad Hemminger was the JV coach, and he's just yelling at these poor girls for how bad they're getting just crushed. So they bring in the varsity girls, and the varsity girls were even better, like way better. And we smashed the varsity too. It was so easy. I couldn't believe it. Like, my eyes, like I came in nervous. Like, we gotta dig deep here to beat these girls. It was the easiest games we ever played. Like, I felt bad. Like,
you're in 8th grade.
I felt bad just blocking the shit out of these all SBC, like, all conference players. Like how bad do they have to feel knowing, like, gosh, no matter how much work they put in, Like, they will never be as good as the 8th grade boys, you know? So the 8th grade boys team that went 2-14. But yeah,
Dude,
so after that, we got to get some shit talking in on the girls. We're like, we just smashed your varsity. I don't think the 8th grade girls team is going to give us much of a problem.
That's great, dude. They're like 17, 18-year-old girls. You're like, some of these dudes barely hit puberty in the 8th grade. They're fucking blocking the shit out of them.
Yeah. I want to bring up another thing. Do you ever heard of Bobby Riggs against what's her name? King. What was her actual name though? Billie Jean King. Billie Jean King. You ever heard about this? The Battle of the Sexes?
What was it? The tennis match?
Yeah.
Actually, I think I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it.
It was in 1973. Bobby Riggs, he was on the senior circuit at this point. He was in his 50s, and he was always talking shit about women's tennis. And he went going around and he kept challenging Billie Jean King, one of the top women's tennis players at the time, to a match, and she kept refusing. So he took on the number 1 ranked woman, Lauren Court, and he beat her in like an exhibition match. And like he came out like all kinds of just massive shit talk. He gave her flowers, and it was ridiculous. And so and all of it was to hype up a match against Billie Jean King. And Billie Jean King was in her prime, and she ended up beating him in the match. And then they hyped this up as like the greatest thing for women ever when Billie Jean King beat Bobby Riggs. Like, they even made like TV movies about it, like when Billie beat Bobby and stuff. I don't know if you ever heard about those. So now, turns out ESPN, this is not nearly as popular, but turns out ESPN has had an Outside the Lines feature 40 years after the match. One of Bobby Riggs' old friends, now that Bobby Riggs is dead, I think, came out of the woodworks and said that Bobby Riggs owed a shit ton of money to the mafia in gambling debts, and he promised to throw the match to clear all of his debt, so the mafia could just bet on Billie Jean King, because Bobby Riggs was a big favorite.
That sounds about right, dude.
And he threw the shit out of the match. Like he originally was winning 4-0, and then she ended up winning all 3 sets and won the whole thing. So I think what happened was he played hard for like the first 4 games just to prove that he could. And then he made a ridiculous amount of unforced errors, and she ended up beating him. But this has been like the number 1 case of women can do it just like the boys. Like some like in her prime woman beating a 53-year-old man, and then even that is tarnished because the guy threw the game.
Yeah, no shit. I tell you what though, the one thing that a woman could whip my ass in right now, some long distance running. I could barely run down the fucking street. I see women on my Facebook. Oh, I ran fucking 12 miles in the last 3 days. I'm like, Jesus, I would be in the ICU on a ventilator right now if I ran 12 miles in the last 2 months. So I'm telling you, I am out of shape right now. So if I did fight Ronda Rousey, I'd definitely have to KO her ass inside a couple minutes. We're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah. So,
dude, I don't know, man.
Do you have any other stories of times that you had to compete against girls, like in gym or something?
Yeah, dude. I mean, all the time. I mean, we used to play like co-ed softball. We'll play co-ed softball. I played that a bunch of times. I've been on a bunch of different co-ed softball teams and just fucking nailing line. Like, they always think that they can stick chicks at like the third base, and shit like that, because they don't want to stick them in the outfield because a lot of balls get hit in the outfield. So you really want great players in the outfield when you're playing softball. And
yeah, we always put our girls at catcher and second.
Yeah, same here. Well, I played a couple of girls that played third base, and dude, I cranked the fucking ball in softball, and I've cranked some freaking lasers at these chicks, and it's just kind of like I feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It's like I don't feel comfortable hitting the ball that hard at women. They need to start sticking them freaking I don't know what they need to be doing with them, but that co-ed softball shit can be dangerous. I'm not even kidding. So that's the one thing. You know, just playing gym. I remember when Corey Cantu played Mallory, like one-on-one at the gym. Remember that was like a big thing in the auxiliary gym? And you like murked her.
Wait, what was that one?
Corey Cantu. He never even played basketball, and he played Mallory Guerrero one-on-one in the auxiliary gym and beat her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was like a big thing. Everybody showed up to watch it. So stupid, so dumb. But anyway, that happened. But yeah, the softball thing. I don't mean to come off and say girls can't play softball, because there are actually some pretty damn good girls out there that can play softball. But when you're playing in those co-ed leagues, a lot of times you're just getting chicks there from the office. Oh, I want to play softball. Here's a mitt. Go sit in fucking second base and watch this lefty drill a goddamn 95-mile-an-hour ball at your face. You know what I mean? And a lot of those, I'm telling you what, a lot of those softball fields are not taken care of well, and those choppers are coming off concrete. So it's dangerous, man. Dangerous for good male players.
The girls on our team all got drilled last year by softballs.
Yeah.
Like Joe's wife, Chelsea, was pitching when Joe was batting, and he smacked one right off of her off of her knee and really fucked her leg up for she missed a whole week of just from practice.
At least he didn't Simon Birch's own wife. Remember that shit when Simon Birch hit that foul ball and killed that woman?
Oh, Jesus.
He's like, I'm sorry.
We had quite a few injuries to the girls. We're just getting blasted by hard hit balls. So, all right, I think that about covers
I don't,
all the men versus women stuff.
I don't have a rant, but I do want to bring something up and make fun of some people. Fucking
let's hear
those Antifa fucking pussies.
Oh yeah,
they're starting to have they're starting to have self-defense classes.
Oh God, because they're such pussies.
To defend themselves when they're like, oh, like these political rallies and stuff, they're getting violent, and we need to learn to protect themselves.
So they're starting the violence.
Yeah, so the video shows the skinniest, nerdiest fucking pussies on the planet, fucking sitting there taking martial arts like kung fu classes on like Long Beach. You know what I mean? They're sitting there like in their like amazing Orange County beaches, and they're like on the beach like doing kung fu. And I just want to issue this challenge. You can fucking record this and put this on blast through every social media channel ever. I will fight anybody that's part of the Antifa movement. I will fucking fight all of you. Not together, one-on-one. Anybody wants to fight me, I will fight your asses too. I am so sick of those goddamn pussies wearing masks and their fucking arms are about as thick as my dong. They're so goddamn weak. They're trying to mace women. I mean, they're just pussies. I just want to call out all you Antifa bitches, and anybody that fucking backs Antifa, you can suck my dick too. That's all I got to say.
That should have been a rant. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. I'm going to sneak in the rant music and make that the rant of the week.
All right, that sounds good. Fuck them. What we got for Hemm's Gym?
All right, here we go.
Wow, winning.
All right, thank you very much, Charlie Sheen. And for Hemm's Gems this week, one of them is very self-serving, okay? I don't know if you guys know about this, but I did an interview this week with the Cleveland Indians' #1 pitching prospect, Tristan McKenzie. Like, this dude is going to be their future ace. It's the biggest interview I've ever done with a baseball player, and I posted it on Let's Go Tribe this week. It did really well, but for those of you that didn't read it or check it out, this kid is super interesting. Highly recommend you check out that interview. It was so good, and I just want everybody to read it that can. So Tristan McKenzie, you will know that name very soon. So it's the first time I've ever pimped out one of my own things, but I really think you guys should check it out. And then last but not least, another comic book. It's called Tokyo Ghost. It's just a 2-trade series. Like, there's only like 10 issues total. But it is so good. It's basically based in a alternate future where, you know how everybody's like a phone zombie these days? They're just walking around staring at their phone, just looking for constant distractions. it's like taking that to the next level where people have like implants and they can take like injections of like nanoparticles and stuff that are just constantly giving them a feed to whatever is like the next big distraction. And like people are just linked in and just avoiding reality basically. And it follows the lives of 2 police officers that are in this future. And it's super, super interesting. You should really check it out. Like got some kind of eerie parallels with what's going on in society these days. I think you guys would really like it. So Tokyo Ghost. So those are my 2 Hemm's Gems for the week.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Hey, I do got something else to add.
All right, let's hear it.
I noticed that I'm away from the mic here a little bit. I noticed that the Cubs visited President Trump today at the White House, and I want to commend them for not being bitches like the Golden State Warriors. And anybody else that fucking, I'm not visiting the president, that's fucking bullshit. You know what? Grow a sack. It's an honor to go to the White House. Stop being bitches. Half of you don't even know what you're mad about anyways. So go to the White House if you win a championship. I just think it's rude and stupid and it's un-American to skip out in the White House because you think a president's racist. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That should be another rant. I think I lost respect for a lot of the Warriors because they said they wouldn't go. And some of those Patriot players that wouldn't go to the White House because of all their political bullshit. This is about sports. This is what we were talking about before. Mm-hmm. Sports is sports. It's not political. I don't give a shit about politics. Just go and enjoy your White House visit, get some pictures taken for the fans, and go. I don't know. What's your take on that shit?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't like Donald Trump, but if I won a championship and part of that championship involved a visit to the White House, how often are you going to get a chance to do that? Yeah. So who gives a fuck? Suck it up and do it. So, sports is not about making big political statements. Sports is the escape from all that bullshit. So that's kind of my view on that. So, all right. I think that'll do it for this week. Are we on track for a regular 9 p.m. show next week? Like just in advance?
Yeah, we are. Today, like I said, you guys heard my children earlier. I just happen to have my kids this time, and I wanted to get them, fed and get them bathed and get them ready for bed, and they go to bed about 10 o'clock. So this worked out perfect for me.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then so we'll be back an hour earlier next week at 9 p.m. next Wednesday night. So make sure to tune in. We'll have another badass show in store for you guys. And make sure to follow us, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us and like us on SoundCloud. Like the bigger our followings get on that, the better we can grow. Help share if you can. We're still trying to grow, but we are growing slowly and steadily. And if you have any stories or suggestions or feedback, we accept messages on Facebook, and you can send emails to @oddspodcast@gmail.com. @oddspodcast@gmail.com. So I think that'll do it for today's show. How would you like to roll this one out, Sharples?
Well, you just said it. Roll. What's up?
Well, I meant for closing in.
Yeah, roll. You said roll, so we're Rick rolling them.
Oh, there we go.